Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of the Mongolian Death Worm. It's an action, came out in 2010. Amazon has it as 12, IMDb doesn't seem to have a rating. Sorry it does, I'm thinking of something else. Amazon has a 12, IMDb doesn't have a rating. Duration is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Amazon is 3.9 out of 5, IMDb is 3.4 out of 10. I'll read the IMDb synopsis. When an American oil company sets up an experimental drilling plant out in the vast deserts of Mongolia, they awaken a nest. The deadly creature begins to breed and spread, devouring everyone in their path. So the director is Stephen R. Monroe, who directed I Spit on Your Grave. Producers, well, there's 9 of them, but the one with producer is Andrew Stevens, who produced The Boondock Saints. Music was by Emir Isili, Isilay, who did the music for Killer Nurses, and Pinar Toprak, Toprak, who did the music for The Lost City. So the cast, we have Sean Patrick Flannery, who is Daniel, who is in The Boondock Saints. Brilliant film, by the way, awesome, got to watch it. Nate Rubin was Philip, who was in Super. Victoria Pratt was Alicia, she was in Mutant X, the series. George Cheung, Cheung, was Timur, was in Starsky and Hutch, and Drew Waters was Patrick, who was in Friday Night Lights, the series. It was filmed in Texas, USA. It's also known as New Tremors, The Den of the Mongolian Death Worm, which I can understand why it's called the New Tremors, to be honest, because it did make me feel like I was watching that. Now it starts with some dudes trying to fix a generator or something at a drilling plant. I think it was a pump. So of course they all say, well, we're going to go home now, you fix it. So of course it's a guy we don't know, dead. So there's a car chase, they're chasing Daniel, these two cars, and as usual they can't hit a barn door. I mean, they're shooting it in, they're trying to kill him and nobody could kill him. Surprise, surprise. So Daniel, right, has just driven along and he's found George Cheung, is the cop. And he says you got to give these Victoria, well, Alicia and Philip a lift to this sort of like village or something. So he says, well, how much? I take US dollars, etc. What I don't do is give free rides. And she says, okay, Doctors of Hope. It's a non-profit organisation. Well, Daniel's taxi is not. Sorry. There's an outbreak in a nearby village. People are dying. Well, maybe you should hope for another ride to come by. And I thought, yeah, that's quite good. People in charge of a drilling company, they're not Mongolian. Same with the people in the hospital in the village, right? So they're skeptical of this worm myth. When everyone's like talking about the worms, they're all like, yeah, whatever. Usual thing. Now, I have seen the worm. It looks okay. Just need to see more at this point. It just seems to have this long tongue. It's weird. So earlier, Daniel's car broke down, right? And he says to them, "Oh, we need to get off the road for the night because the smugglers, they use this road for smuggling. We don't want to be caught by them." So they go, oh, "Okay, fine." So they push it off the road, but they get caught anyway, right? And then the copper comes along, who's George. And finds the car in the campfire about 2 feet from the road. I was like, well, that's not really very hidden, is it, from the from the smugglers going on the road? I mean, if you're going to do that, at least push the car a bit further, maybe behind the tree. Now the worms are actually good, especially the large ones. I've seen some smaller ones. They're kind of chunky and moving and eating someone. They're not all CGI. Because Daniel backed into one, he heard this thud, and he saw this thing move. So they're not all CGI. Which, I assume they're not all CGI. So Philip and a local nurse was getting water from a well. She was doing all the pulling of the rope. He was just standing there while she was pulling all this water up and getting water. Of course, after a while, she gets dragged down the well. Does Philip try and pull her back up while yelling for help, or does he just yell for help? Help! It's like, yeah, I would actually try and grab hold of the rope and pull the person. There's not much to say about this film because it's actually quite a good film. It's kind of like watching Tremors. There was a point where they were on this tin house and the worms are trying to climb up. Now, if you've seen Tremors, if you haven't, watch it. It's with Kevin Bacon and some other dude. But it's a very good film. Basically about worms. There you go. If you haven't watched it, I'm not going to tell you. But if you have seen it, you'll know what I mean. They're very similar to them. Like I say, some are obviously CGI. But it was impressive when the large one took this guy. It was good editing. I think it was it Patrick? Or someone else? I can't remember what it was, but it was pretty good. I thought, hey, I'll like that. That's good. That's good editing. And like I said, it's a weird one because there was nothing bad in the film. You know, some people have said it's crap, it's awful. I mean, yeah, it depends on what you're used to watching. You know, if you're used to watching top-rated horror films like, I don't know, whatever they are, but if you watch those and then you watch this, then yes. But if you're used to this kind of stuff, it's actually not that bad. You know, they're not what they think they are. There's a bit more to it, to the story. So that's kind of interesting. But there are. I had a read about them. They are actually not true. They're an expo. What do you call them? They're the zoologists, not zoologists, cryptozoologists. So they're kind of like a myth. People have talked about them, but no one's ever seen them, sort of thing. That kind of thing, like Nessie. Although we all know Loch Ness Monster's real. Come on, I mean, it's obviously Nessie is there. When I was in Scotland many years ago. She has my dishcloth that I dropped over the side of the boat. So yeah, she's alive. She's alive. So these are one of the cryptologists kind of crypto things. So they do. If you look it up, you look up Mongolian Death Worm. They do kind of say exist. But you know what I mean. There are pictures of them. So there you go. Obviously not photos, but pictures. Anyway, hopefully if you enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of the Mongolian Death Worm, please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty of other film reviews, quite a lot of horrors. This is action actually, so this is kind of an action horror, but I'll put it more down to an action. But I've got quite a few actions coming up now, so you might find them enjoyable. Give me the old thumbs up if you like this film, video even. Have you seen this? I'm curious. You know, some people have probably seen these kind of weird films. I tend to watch all sorts of weird films. But Boondock Saints as well, just so you know, very good. Highly recommend you watch that one. That's nothing like the Mongolian Death Worm. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.